Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Hostinger Horizons event. Now, here today, I am joined by my wonderful colleagues, Povilas and Dainius, of course. Today, we'll be presenting you with a full AMA, so all of your questions will be answered during today's little live stream. Now, before we jump right in, a quick little notice. So good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are watching from. It's very exciting. So please let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I would love to hear your locations or maybe even who you are. It's an interesting way to see and communicate with each other. So let's keep the chat always active as much as we can. Feel free to use the comment section of any platform that you're joining in from, whether that be YouTube, X, LinkedIn, or Facebook. And we'll jump right in with a quick little presentation. Some of you might not even know what Hostinger Horizons is at all, or you're just hearing about it for the first time. So you're lucky because we will be diving a little bit deeper as well at what it is, how to use it, and all of those great things. So let's jump right in with a quick little showcase. So just like I mentioned, I do want to introduce myself to all of you as well. My name is Kavoliūnas. I'm a marketing project manager. With me today, Povilas and Dainius. They'll also introduce themselves a little bit later when we have our main FAQ/AMA segment. And let's jump in with our main topics that we have planned for today, right? So first of all, we'll cover what exactly is Hostinger Horizons, when to use Hostinger Horizons, whether it be during your daily work or for a longer term project, as well as we'll do a quick showcase of some of the cool projects that you guys have already made. Now, it's been actually a week since we've launched the Hostinger Horizons Early Access, right? And we want to showcase exactly what kind of weird and interesting projects you've already made. So you're going to be able to see the capabilities that Hostinger Horizons has in store for you. Of course, we'll go through some frequently asked questions and then our main AMA segment where Dainius and Povilas will help answer all of your questions. So feel free to be active in the chat. I can already see people joining in from Italy, from the Philippines, from Washington as well, from India as well. Great. So keep up the good work, guys. Keep the chat active. And we'll also have a special gift for all of you that stay up until the end so that you could get Hostinger Horizons and make use of it with a little bit of a twist. So let's jump right in and start off with exactly, so what is Hostinger Horizons? You're probably asking, those of you that don't know what it is, of course. So it is an AI-powered tool for building web apps online, right? And you don't need to have any kind of coding experience to use it. You just enter a prompt like you would be chatting with your software engineer or any kind of person that's helping you with a project. And you can imagine in the same way, it'll start creating your project for you, a web application, and it'll let you preview it instantly. Now, we also have the ability to publish that project with one click of a button. It takes less than a minute and bam, your project is online. You can also connect a domain name and we have all the services you need there included already. So no need to worry about hosting. You only need a Hostinger Horizons plan. Everything is bundled into that together and you can go in and start making those really cool and interesting projects. Also, it does support about 80 plus languages that you can use in your own language that you speak of, your mother tongue. So feel free to talk with it with many different languages as much as you can speak, right? So bonjour, hello, what other konnichiwa, right, as well. So many different ways that you can converse with it and it'll always get back to you as well. And of course, like I mentioned, it's an all-in-one solution. So you're going to be able to get everything in one nice package. So no need to worry about any kind of additional third-party applications unless there are some specific cases, but we'll cover those a little bit later as well. And also another burning question for you is, when should I use Hostinger Horizons, right? It seems like a really nice tool. You could use it for a lot of different things, but maybe you want some, simple examples. For example, maybe you need to build a web app that you want to easily refine with a few texts, a few prompts that we, provide, and you want to launch it in a pretty quick manner, right? So it's great for those smaller projects, for those things that you just want to get out there and quickly launch. Maybe you have an amazing idea, no one's ever done it before. Best way to make that idea a reality is by making a website, a web app, right, for that project. Of course, if you have no coding experience, you're not a programmer, you're not a developer, you don't even know what the word software means, you do have the ability to just jump in there, right, and start creating everything from scratch without having to learn any coding, any languages, programming languages, that is, anything like that. It's all pretty simple and done for you in there. And of course, if you're someone like me who has a lot of different ideas going through their head, and maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that, maybe I want to do something else again, you do have the ability to make multiple projects in one plan, so you can push out those web applications like they're, I don't know, like like you're a chicken in a barn, right? So just pushing out eggs, pushing out projects all the time in a very simple and easy manner. And of course, if you are a web developer or you like to make projects for your clients, no matter if you have that coding experience or not, it's a great way to make something to, it could be like a testing environment, right, to showcase exactly something that'll, grab your client's attention and allow you to publish that while also keeping those costs really low. And if you are someone like an entrepreneur or a company owner and you want to create something interesting, something unique, or maybe you just need something simple and easy to work with, easy to refine, imagine all the costs that you're saving by not hiring a software developer for $200 an hour or something like that, but by using Hostinger Horizons, which can get you the job done in a quick and easy manner. So, of course, nobody can change a software developer. That kind of bond is always there and it always will be. But for those that are looking to save costs and cut a few corners, we do believe that this tool will be a great addition to your arsenal. Now, let's also take a look at some of the projects that you guys have already made. So some of you may recognize these as well, because we do have a showcase channel on our Discord server. In our Discord server, we really like to invite people to join. We'll also share a link to that near towards the end of today's stream, and you'll be able to take a closer look, join, and then talk with other like-minded individuals. So people who also are creating projects, people who want to learn more, get more feedback about their projects as well. And we picked a few that we think are pretty interesting to showcase. So let's start with the first one, which is a sous chef cooking helper. Now, this little website this person made, it allows you to just add ingredients directly from your kitchen. So you just type in things like, I have an onion, I have a piece of lettuce, I have some potatoes, some tomatoes, some ground beef. You add all of that, and it will show you the recipes that you're most eligible to create from your kitchen. Of course, assuming you have things like, pepper, salt, and, those basic cooking oils and stuff like that. And you can even follow the direct instructions for each recipe individually. So I think that's a very nice and simple idea. And this person was able to make it pretty quickly as well, without the need of, using all of their prompts over and over again. So I think you're going to be able to take a look at this and see exactly how, useful Hostinger Horizons can be when creating those interesting projects and interesting ideas, making them come to life. Another one that we actually noticed is called the Integrity News. I hope I'm spelling that correctly. It is a reference to a certain show some of you might know, and it actually is kind of like a news outlet rating site. So you can rate news outlets by their trustability. So how trustworthy are they? How, what kind of news do they mainly publish? And it even has a game inside there where you can see the name of an article and you have to guess which news outlet provided that article, which I think is really fun. It even has a ranked mode and a leaderboard. Mind you, all of this was created inside of Hostinger Horizons with the power of AI. So I'm guessing, this person should be really proud of what they did. I saw somebody had a really high score. I wasn't able to reach it, but I think you guys will be able to take a look at. If you're interested as well, I'll be able to share the links later down the line as well, so you can explore those projects that we have right here. And last but not least, it's actually a sort of a 3D project as well. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, something like that is actually possible? And yes, it actually is. So you can create kind of 3D landscapes or 3D models using Hostinger Horizons. Of course, it is quite limited. It's not going to be able to create something super detailed for you. But if you want something quite interesting, like what this person has made as well, it's kind of like a car driving over a bridge with a little sunset. It reminds you of those, 80s, 70s, synth wave in the background. You got that music playing and everything. And even the ability to change where the camera is looking at, as well as move the vehicle itself. So it's kind of like a little game, you could say. But from what I heard, that person is mainly using it as a screensaver. So it is also an interesting idea to make use of. So I really hope you guys enjoyed those projects. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be really interested to see your main reactions to that. And let's jump into some frequently asked questions. So these are questions that we've compiled from you guys from all the different places where you like to reply about Hostinger Horizons. So let's take a quick look at some of those questions and let's answer them for you. And then we'll jump straight into the AMA and answer all of your burning questions from there. All right, first question, and it goes like this. How do I edit the code after I publish my project? So Povilas or Dainius, feel free to go.
I guess I can start with this one, right? So I take an easy one, and then Povilas will give some harder ones for you. So hello everyone, I'm Dainius, head of product at the Hostinger Horizons, and we'll help you to clarify a few questions. How to edit the code, right? So after publishing a project, you can continue to chat with your with Horizons, and Horizons is gonna update your web application. And once you're happy with the changes, you can always republish your application. So for all your web app users to get the updates, and you can do this as much as you want, as many updates as you want, and as many publishes as you want.
Awesome. So don't be shy. If you are just going to publish your project as kind of like, your first try, don't worry, you can still edit it and go through it. Right, next question. So what actually happens when you run out of those prompts? You're really tech savvy and you really want to use all of those prompts, right? Maybe you use our simple, I think it's called the hobbyist tier, where you get 100 messages. So I think one of the guys can also answer what exactly happens when those prompts run out.
Hey, maybe I'll take this one. And hi, everyone. So if you run out of prompts, our plans are tiered monthly, like the messages have monthly limits. So you can either wait until next month or you can upgrade to a higher tier plan and get more prompts instantly.
Yeah, of course. Now, it does actually pose another question, I think, which I didn't include it here, but I think it's also something interesting to think about. Povilas, I think you can answer this one as well. If, let's say, I have 10 prompts left out of 100, and I upgrade to the next plan, which goes up to 250. So how many prompts will I have? 260 at that point, or how does that work?
A lot of maths. Dano, you're the mathematician here.
math stuff, right? So when you're upgrading a plan, you don't pay for the full price of that plan, right? You only pay for the difference. So you also get the difference in messages. So if initially you had 100 messages, so now you upgraded to 250, so you're gonna get additional 150, right? So if you had 10 messages remaining in your current plan, you're gonna get 150 more, so it's gonna be 160, right? But you also pay only for this difference in price, not for the whole amount.
Exactly. So keep that in mind. All right, let's jump into the next question, which goes, so how do I know if Hostinger Horizons can build my project? I think this is more of an ambitious question, right? So can it actually build exactly what I want? Will it build exactly what I want? I think this is more of like a philosophical question as well, right?
So Horizons is meant to build the web applications. If you have like some crazy idea that you don't know if Horizons is capable of building it, so my suggestion would just give it a try, and if it turns out that it cannot build it, or if it's not as advanced as what you were hoping for, we always offer like a no questions asked 30-day money back guarantee. So it's like a risk-free to try it, and my suggestion would just be to just go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like with all projects, you never know. Will it work? Will it won't? Will it succeed? Will it won't? You just got to dive right in and go for it, right? Exactly with hosting your Horizons as well. All right, next question is, how secure is hosting your Horizons at the moment?
How to define security, right? So if you lock your house, how secure are you, right? And from what secure you are. Yeah, it is secure for all sorts of use cases and applications. So I guess as long as you're not doing a bank, creating some new bank with hosting your Horizons, you're good to go.
All right, awesome. So make sure to even create a login or some kind of registration form. I think that's a very good tip to ensure better security for that client data, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, generally, if your client's going to be using it, you should add authentication, which can you easily do with asking Horizons to do it, and it's going to guide you through the steps. So yeah, you have proper authentication, you have users with their secure passwords, and you're good.
Awesome. All right, next question. I think this is a question that we do get very often. It's about payment methods. So how do you integrate something like Stripe into the web app?
Good question. So yeah, as you see, there's one of the main use cases, right? When you create a web app, you want to monetize it, and there are different ways. Let's say add ads or etc. Another one is to directly ask payments, from your users of the web application. So it's already possible. You can integrate Stripe in certain ways. For example, payment links. If you just want to charge for ebook download or something like that, it's quite straightforward. If you want to have a subscription, which I assume most of you want to have, it's a bit more challenging and a few more steps here and there. But we're actually currently working on a solution to make this as smooth as possible, and it should be live in a couple of weeks, so you could easily add the subscriptions. But you already can add, payment links, charge for ebooks, etc., etc. Yeah, and even the subscriptions, you already can integrate them, but it's just gonna be maybe not one click, as most of experience with the Horizons, but maybe a few clicks or maybe a few chats. So yeah, keep that in mind, but yeah, just try and go for it.
Awesome. So
yeah, but
I know.
I would actually add that this is a super common question we get, and whenever we have like very common questions, like common requests, we try to integrate it into our product roadmap. So as Dainius mentioned, we want to make it as convenient as possible, like hopefully a one-click integration in the very near future. So yeah, if there's like some features that you think are very, very important to you, feel free to just write a request, and we'll see what is requested the most, and we'll work on that next.
Yeah, we totally thrive off of that feedback. It kind of fuels us and lets us know that we do have a lot of things that we want to do, and we want to prioritize the things that are most important for you guys right there behind the screen. Let's move on to the next question, okay? So this one is very interesting as well. It's can I make a mobile app with Hostinger Horizons?
Yeah, we'll go for this one. So I guess the question is what I make can appear in Google Play or App Store, right? It's not about the mobile experience, but about the stores, right? So one thing is about creating something usable. So we create web applications that work great on mobile. You can add those to your home screen, and just basically use them as mobile applications. The part of adding them to Google Play and App Store is more challenging. You basically need, from the builder's perspective, have accounts, pay for Apple, Google subscriptions to be available to upload these applications to the stores, and there's also security, etc., involved there. So the process is much more complicated. So for now, started with Horizons and web applications. But for mobile applications for sure in our roadmap, in our minds. But currently, we just focus on web applications and making the experience as great as possible, and then tackling mobile applications a bit later.
That's right. Awesome. So if you are very ambitious to start putting on your project on Google Play and the Apple iTunes Store, right, or anywhere else, You might want to hold off for just a minute, start with a web version first, and then as we add more information about how you can integrate that later, you'll be able to, extend your reaches to the far above wherever you need it to be. All right, that's pretty much it for our main FAQ that we wanted to mention. Now we'll go to our AMA. So guys, once again, feel free to write down your comments in any platform you feel available, whether that be YouTube, LinkedIn, X, or Facebook. I see all of your comments, so I'll be able to highlight some of them and we'll be answering them as we go along. There have been quite a few already. You guys are super active, which is great. And then we'll move on to the first question, all right? So let's see. Gosh, it's really hard to go through every single thing that you have here.
I actually saw one that I think is super important, and
Go ahead.
yeah. So there was a question: can you host multiple web apps on one plan? So the answer is yes. Actually, you can host up to 50 web apps right now on one plan that you get on like a hosting plan that you get when you buy Horizons.
Which is great. Does give you a lot of flexibility to just keep creating, keep making, and keep that engine going, right? Especially if you have those projects and you can monetize them in some kind of way. Well, you have a lot of potential there, right?
Yeah, and I guess also important to point out that the message limit is available on all your web apps. So you're not getting those prompts for specific web app. No, in general, for any web app.
Right. I see there's a little bit more of a technical question from Louis, but it says, how do I connect to databases, APIs, and other integrations? Is there a list of integrations or resources that can be included in the messages we send to Horizons?
Good question. So I guess theoretically, like all API integrations are possible, especially if those APIs are public. Horizons most likely already know how to integrate them, like OpenAI or Claude or something like that. You would just ask, and the Horizons will guide you through. Maybe ask for some client details, etc., etc. So yeah, just go and try it. But you might have some maybe secret or some super new APIs, and for these, of course, Horizons will not know how to implement them because it's a secret. So you need to provide the some kind of details for Horizons how to implement them. But I guess if you have these custom secret APIs already, quite technical, and know that you need to provide this information for Horizons to implement it.
Yeah. So if you have that secret API in your basement, it might not be super easy to just put it in there. Right. I see there is another question from, I think it's Trokas. He asks, is there any Figma integration coming anytime soon for the designing part? Most of the designers use Figma to design their webs and web apps, and adapting to other platforms gets challenging.
Good question. So Figma integration is definitely at our minds as well. But also add that in the meantime, you can always just take a screenshot of what you have designed and put it into Horizons, and it's gonna do amazing job. And the integration gonna help you, from taking the screenshot more or less just to directly integrating. So it's gonna help, but I think you already can start doing and working. And another thing I would also mention that don't be afraid to try use Horizons for designing, but in a sense that you don't design, the interface, but to design immediately in the interface. I mean, like you ask for a feature, add a button, make a button this kind of big, or etc., and it's gonna do the thing. And to actually get into production, you don't need to developer ask to implement it. It's already implemented. You publish and you have it. So you even skip the development part, Figma part, and go basically directly from your mind, from your design idea to production. So that might save a lot of actual time.
Yeah. And we already do have a feature of allowing you to upload images. So even if you have like a rough sketch, you can already upload that directly to Horizons, and it'll just create something as similar as it can to what you drew or what you made. So that is also something that I think is very nice and useful to use most of the time. I see there's another question by Love, who asks, will there be an option to manually update edit code instead of needing to use a prompt for small changes? I think this is for those very detail-oriented people.
Okay, so I guess there are a few ways how you can modify web application, right? So currently we have the prompting, right? And I guess it's very, very straightforward. But on some changes, maybe you want more control. Some of those changes, code editing kicks in, right? But we don't target technical people, right, who know JavaScript, etc., etc. So we don't prioritize this feature that much at the current moment. We want to make Horizons as easy to use as for people who don't know code, who don't know, what JavaScript frameworks are popular at the moment. But on the other hand, prompting might also not be a solution for them all the time. So we're also working on some additional UI features where you could edit text, some style elements within Horizons interface without prompting and without editing the code. So that's also something we have in our backlog. I guess I mentioned our backlog a few times already. So very nice to see some that most of the ideas match what we already have. So now the question is, priority and getting it out for you guys to try it out. So we're gonna try to do that as soon as possible.
That's right. That's right. I'm really hoping that, sometime in the next few years, maybe even we'll take the next step. Before we had programming, right? You had to learn programming to make a website. Then we had website builders, right? Who allow you to build a website by clicking and dragging and dropping. Now we have prompts, right, to build websites and web applications. So I'm really hoping the next time, the next step of evolution here would be something like making a web app with your brain, just with your thoughts.
Also not a backlog.
I think it's a perfect point of discussion as well. Awesome. I see there's another question by Elian Webb who asks, can a Hostinger Horizons web app run on a VPS Hostinger plan? I think this is very interesting for those that know about Hostinger, other Hostinger services like our VPS services. And I think Dainius can also take this one over.
Yeah, good question. So we're currently working on the export functionality for Horizon, so it might be live even tomorrow or the day after, so next couple of days. And once that's launched, you will be able to at any time download your web application, and then you can run it and host it in any place you want, in our VPS, in your local machine, in your library, like any place, right? So for sure, you will be able to also host in our hosting your VPS. Just to note that recommended still to use our hosting plan, because it's fully integrated. It's one click. All the updates you make, once again, one click, updated there. Easy domain connection. So I would really consider your use case of hosting it in VPS. Yes, possible, but very much depends what you want to achieve.
Right. So for those of you that want those, maybe integrate those projects with even more complex things, those of you who really know how to manage a server, our VPS options are also a very great fit right there. I did see a very interesting question here as well by Vista Studio, who says, can we make team and collaborate on Hostinger Horizons? I think this is actually a very important point of discussion as well. Imagining a team of people working on it at the same time. How do you imagine this working, Dainius?
Okay, so people working at the same time is challenging because you need to update the code, see the changes, and one person would override another person's changes. Like imagine Google document, but it's also happening at the same time on the same text block. It's gonna get messy and confusing, right? But if you just want to have one project and maybe now you work on this project and then your friend works in an hour or something, it's actually quite easy to do that. There's this access sharing functionality. You can always just share the hosting plan that has that website, that app you have created, and your friend can always access and work it as much as he wants, as well as you can still continue to interact and work on the web application. So this is that built-in sharing functionality and enabling multiple people to work on the same web application. But again, wouldn't recommend doing it at the same time, because one person changes might overlap with another person's.
Yeah, so if you're a team of developers, maybe take turns or shifts doing edits and changes. That'll make things a little bit easier and less confusing for everybody. I see a very great question right here as well, where somebody asks, can I build an AI chatbot platform with Hostinger Horizons?
Interesting question. AI chatbot platform. Sometimes it's quite hard to understand from a couple words what does person have in mind, and luckily Horizons does a better job than I do. From a few words, building what you have in mind. But in this case, I assume is chatbot, like something like OpenAI or something like these, right? And in this case, yes, you can always integrate another AI provider, and use it as a AI provider, and then it will handle your requests and responses, and you can maybe add some extra charging for clients and features and next features on top. But for sure, you can have this AI powered chat bot in your web application.
That's right. That's right. Okay, moving on. I see you guys have a lot of questions, which is really amazing. We're having probably a little bit of trouble even keeping up with all of them, but we'll try to take on as much as we can in this entire half hour that we have left. Okay, I see another question here where somebody also asks a very valid question. He asks, I have a website hosted on Hostinger, built with WordPress and Elementor. I want to improve it. Can I upgrade and evolve it using Horizons, or do I need to start from scratch?
Maybe I can take this one, because Dainius has been answering a lot recently. Yeah, so again, it will kind of depend on what you want to do with your website. We're not here trying to compete with WordPress. We actually offer WordPress hosting, managed WordPress hosting for WordPress, together with WooCommerce, things like that. So it really depends what you want to improve. Like if you want some web app features, then I guess you could replicate your site and build those extra features on top. However, if you just want to replicate it, then the question would be, why would you want to do that? Because perhaps WordPress plus WooCommerce is now currently better for you, because you already have everything set up. Another version would be, for example, just to keep your current website, and for those additional features that you want, you could just create a web app with Horizons and place a link on your website to open the web app. So then you don't have to redo everything from scratch.
Yeah, that's a perfectly valid option, I think, of going about it. Hope that answers your question there. Let's move on to another one. I see Heiner asks, can we build Chrome applications? Now, this is a very interesting one as well. I'm guessing this probably means Chrome extensions.
Yeah, if it's Chrome extensions, or maybe they're like Chromebooks, I think there's also a thing called like that. At least was a thing quite I'm not sure if they're still popular. But yeah, regarding extensions, browser extensions. So currently, no, we focus on web applications. So basically, you have a link, you have people visiting it, logging in, doing some whatever you created your application to do. But for web extensions, we do not support that use case at the moment.
Got it. Okay. I see you guys still have quite a few questions. I do want to take a look a little bit backwards, maybe from more towards the start of the stream. Let's take a quick look. Some of these questions we've already answered, by the way, during our FAQ, so we're kind of going around and around here as well. If you guys have any other questions, remember.
I noticed one that was quite similar to the WordPress one from the previous question. So there was a question about creating an e-commerce store. So again, Horizons, it's possible to do an e-commerce store with Horizons, but the question is, is it really necessary? Because perhaps just using Hostinger AI website builder would be much easier, as it's specifically made for that use case, for creating a e-commerce store. So for e-commerce, I think you should first check out like Hostinger AI website builder, see if that makes everything much easier for you. So again, you don't have to do everything from scratch yourself with Horizons.
Awesome. It's a very good point. Dainius, you wanted to mention something?
No, I also just going like a good point by Povilas. Totally agree. I'm just going through comments and also just found something I want to comment. If Carlos, you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, take it away.
Let's do it. Yeah, so there's a question that person's trying to do a logo, a background image, and didn't work. So after our initial launch, 1 week ago, we had this issue that you couldn't add an image. You could add an image and then it would make website look like it or something like that, but you cannot add an image and it would, be actually used in your web application. So that was fixed a couple of days after the launch. So now just, if you want, custom image and hero section and body, add logo, like everything works with images. Just add that image in the prompt, say what you want, where you want that image to be used, and Horizon just gonna add it in your web application. It's gonna be there.
Awesome. You see, we have a few more questions coming in. I did see actually multiple people asking about a free version of Hostinger Horizons, and some people mentioning that it can be a little bit expensive in some cases. We understand that in some regions, pricing may vary. Maybe we actually have something planned for that. Guys, could you comment?
Povilas, maybe?
So we started off by offering Horizons as a free trial for our existing clients who already had hosting plans with us. So just like as a way to get more users to test the platform, to see what roadblocks we need to solve. So there was like free trials being given to our existing clients who already had plans with us. And I don't know, Dainius, maybe you want to comment on future plans.
And we are already planning to extending this free Horizons option to even new people, new clients who have not yet purchased anything from Hostinger. So surprise announcement next week. Hopefully, second part of next week, we're gonna start introducing some free trials functionality as well for new users to try before a purchase. To let Hostinger Horizons convince you it's a great product. We're looking forward to it and giving it to everyone to try it out.
Yeah, but disclaimer, it will not be like a super public release. So make sure to join our Discord server so you don't miss the actual offer, because it's going to be like a bit limited access, just so that we don't get too many clients registering at once and crashing everything. So yeah, it's gonna be like a secret offer. So join the Discord so you don't miss it.
For sure. I'll also be pasting in the Discord link in here in a few minutes or so. We'll also showcase a QR code you guys can scan from any kind of screen you're using. Before that, I did see a few more interesting questions here. First one would be from Marco, who says, is it possible to make a chat forum with Horizons?
So I assume something similar to Reddit, right? Where we have forums and people chat. So yeah, for sure. And as Povilas mentioned in the beginning of our stream, just go and try it. Try to build it, and I bet you're going to be successful.
Awesome. Easy and straight to the point. Okay, I know you guys have a lot of other questions as well, but we do have our own Discord channel that we mentioned before. I'll showcase it for you in just a moment. But before that, for those of you that are still sticking by, we do have something special for you to offer. So to make that Hostinger Horizons journey start off on a very sweet note, we have a special coupon code you can use. It's called Hostinger Horizons AMA. So just Horizons AMA, one word, right? You can use that before checkout, and you'll get an additional 10% discount when you complete that purchase. And you'll be able to use it on any one of the tiers that we have for Hostinger Horizons, so feel free to use it. I'll also be posting it here in the chat, so you guys will be able to do that from here as well. So feel free to take a look. Another few things that I do want to mention is that we do have full customer support. So we have our dedicated customer success team that is always there to assist you in any case and any questions. They're available 24/7. And we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can just try out Hostinger Horizon, see if it's not the right fit for you. We totally understand. And we do offer that 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Also, something to note about this specific code is that it is very exclusive. It's only going to be valid until March 16th, end of day, meaning Sunday. So you guys have a limited amount of time to make use of this code. So feel free to jump right in, give it a shot, and see for yourself. And last but not least, just like I mentioned, we do have our Discord server. So we want to showcase that as well. You do have the QR code on the screen, and I'll also be pasting the link into most of the media channel comment sections as well. So feel free to take a look and join our Discord server to continue those discussions, to continue your questions, to collaborate with others, to talk with others, and share your own experiences about Hostinger Horizons. Now, we recently actually had a little challenge going inside of the Discord channel where you could actually win special prizes just by creating something with Hostinger Horizons, showcasing it, and letting us know exactly what you did, how many prompts you used to do it, and things like that. So we're very interested and we're very eager to see you guys and your different projects in action. So please go ahead, jump right in, and we'll be waiting for you in there. Besides that, that's actually pretty much everything we wanted to talk for today. So one more time, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's live stream. So, of course, my wonderful colleagues, Povilas and Dainius. And thank you, all of you behind the screen, the viewers who are tuning in from all the different platforms. We do have a little bit of a sneak peek, I could say, here at the end. So make sure to watch right up until then. But until then, we'll see you in the Discord channel. So be active there and go ahead, try out Horizons, unlock your horizons, as they say, and we'll see you in there. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks, everyone. See you.
Bye, guys.
$1 billion web app idea? Now you can turn it into reality with Hostinger Horizons. To start, just tell Horizons what you want to create and instantly receive the first version. Preview your project and make edits as you go by chatting with the AI. With one click, publish your creation and share it with the world. Connect your own domain straight from within the interface. No coding, no extra setup. With Hostinger Horizons, you get effortless web app creation, hosting, email, and more. Go to hostinger.com and turn your ideas into reality.